Hello. It is late. It's like 10:15. I should probably be going to bed, but I'm not. Anyways, I'm in my pajamas. I'm wrapped up. I'm on my new bed situation. And I am also wrapped up in this blanket that I won at a fundraiser on Saturday. And it is very soft on this side. On this side, it's not, like, it's soft, but not as soft. You know, this is super soft. This is the kind of soft Murphy would have really loved this. This would have been Murphy's jam for making biscuits. Franny and Oscar, Franny's staring at me. She thinks it's canned food time, but what she doesn't know is Mommy's not doing canned food time tonight. Anyways, they're not really biscuit cats, so, you know, and like, they'll lay on a blanket, but they don't have really a preference, you know? Anyways, I need to start a new book soon. So I am reading a graphic novel, and then I will be reading a new book. So we are doing another tri-chapter video, and we are back to standalones. And we only have 4, because there's only 8 standalones left, assuming I did not screw this up, which may or may not happen. So these are the next 4. So we have An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. I know nothing about it, but I do think Emily X.R. Pan is like, I'm going to say my perception of her is that she is going to be too cerebral for me, but we shall see. Year of the Reaper by, is it Makiia? Lucier? I know nothing about that book. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie, which this was actually on my anticipated releases when it came out, and then I never read it, so. And then Cruel Illusions by Margie Fuston? Unknown. But that is what we have. They all have sprayed edges. So I think we'll just go in this order. There was a mouse in my house yesterday. He is no longer here. He got into a toy, and then I wasn't sure if he was alive or not. So I took the toy outside and I poked it with my Swiffer. And he was in fact alive and made a run for it. And I told him that he should not return, and to tell all of his friends that while he escaped certain death, that was not an invitation to come back here, because death will be awaiting him here with Oscar. So I think Oscar might be on the hunt for another friend. So sorry if that grosses you out, but that is life. This is my first mouse this year. So I think it's just because it's fall and it's getting cold. So I think we had 3 last year. So once he killed the 3rd one, they stopped coming. So I think they got the message. You know. Anyways, but it's not pleasant for anybody involved. Except maybe Oscar. I think he does enjoy it. Anyways, so the first one is An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. I have not heard anything about this book. I will say that is a beautiful blue. I love blue. It is my favorite color. Okay, so it says a spellbinding reinterpretation of Romeo and Juliet, filled with romance, magic, and Chinese mythology. Oh, I really don't like Romeo and Juliet. I have had to read that story, like the actual Romeo and Juliet, like the play, so many times. And I do not think that there is a Romeo and Juliet retelling I have liked. Should I do a smash or trash for a Shakespeare play? Am I smart enough to do that? I don't know. But there are a lot of options. I feel like if I did it, it's going to be comedies, because I'm not trying to read dramas. Although if we did Hamlet, we could watch The Lion King, and we could talk about how The Lion King is just Hamlet, and how I was made fun of for saying that in the middle of my AP English class, my senior year of high school, and which I did like spontaneously say it. But I did say, it's The Lion King, and people in my class laughed at me, and then my teacher said, no, she's right. That's right. It is Hamlet. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Okay, so the synopsis. Hunter Yi has perfect aim with a bow and arrow, but all else in his life veers off course. Haunted by his family's past mistakes, the only things keeping him from running away are his younger brother, a supernatural wind, and the bewitching girl at his new school. Luna Chang dreads the future. Graduation looms ahead, and her parents' expectations are stifling. Then her life is turned upside down by the strange new boy in her class, the unearthly fireflies that follow her around, and an ominous crack that begins to spread across the town of Fairbridge. As Hunter and Luna navigate the feud between their families and uncover hidden secrets, everything around them begins to fall apart. All they can depend on is their love, but time is running out and fate will have its way. Okay, so there's not really chapters, but there was like what I'm going to call a prologue that takes place in 1974. Well, there's kind of like a little like thing. And then 1974 in China. And then 1991, which it does say in Fairbridge, where we lay our scene, which I think is how Romeo and Juliet starts. I should know. Like I said, I've had to read it like 3 times. But so this takes place in the 90s, which I think is interesting. And then we have a chapter, like a short little chapter from Luna's point of view. And then now it's into Hunter. So, I'm like casually interested in this. I'm assuming it's going to be like, there's going to be some sort of like fantastical element. And everything. I don't know. I'm still a little apprehensive. I may check out reviews to decide. Like, I would be interested right now, but I'm a little worried. Like, I'm just like very all over the place with YA. Also, I was gonna sit up to read you the synopsises and then lay back down to read, but I don't think I am. I'm just gonna do this and be lazy, and hopefully you're okay with that. So yes, we shall see. If I end up not picking this for this video, I will read reviews and then decide if I'm gonna keep it or not. I'm just trying to be a little more cutthroat with the TBR shelf, you know, because you gotta do what you gotta do. So also, as I lay here, this bed is very comfortable, and I like low-key am thinking about like every night when I read on this bed, I think, should I just sleep here? I have napped here. It is a comfy nap spot, but it is weird to be like sleeping in a twin bed when I have a full bed. Not that that's that much bigger, you know, but at the same time, I slept in a twin bed for like the first like 23 years of my life. So at this point, still the majority of my life. So maybe there's something to be said for that. Okay, so now we are on The Year of the Reaper, by Makiia Lucier. That's how I'm going to say it. Do we have a pronunciation guide for you? No. This does look a little on the dark side, but, I don't know. It's cute. It has nice black sprayed edges. It's very loose, so it has like the embossed cover. Is there anything on the holding hands? So it says, we only see 2 people. We love 2 people. Suggest no love triangle. Oh, it's blurred by Kristen Kishore. I do like, well, mostly I like Graceling and Fire. Bitter Blue I was a little with me on, and I have not continued since then. I own them, but I haven't read them. And it was also blurred by Juliette Merlier, but I have not read any of her books. So, okay. Oh, what am I doing? The synopsis is no longer there, Holly. Okay. 3 years ago, Lord Cassia disappeared in the midst of war on a mission entrusted to him by the king. Since then, a devastating plague has swept the land, leaving countless dead and the kingdom forever altered. Having survived a rotting prison cell and a merciless illness, Cass, now 18, wants only to return to his home in the mountains and forget past horrors. But home is not what he remembers. His castle has become a refuge for the royal court, and they have brought their enemies with them. When an assassin targets those closest to the queen, Cass is drawn into a search for a killer, one that leads him to form an unexpected bond with a brilliant young historian named Lena. Cass and Lena soon realize that who is behind the attacks is far less important than why. They must look to the past, following the trail of a terrible secret, one that could threaten the kingdom's newfound peace and plunge it back into war. Okay, so I only read the prologue. Well, let's see how long chapter 1 is. Yes. And chapter 1 is a little on the long side. So I think I am going to not read it. This is more on the list. I'm a little apprehensive, but it was interesting. The time jump between the prologue and chapter 1 is not what I was expecting, but that is fine. And I think that this synopsis sounds interesting, especially as a standalone. And I've had some pretty good luck with like what I'm going to call plague fantasy romances. Or fantasies. Probably fantasy romance, you know. Oh, Oscar is, I think, thinking about laying down. Is that what you're thinking about doing? Oh, you're gonna look out the window? I don't know if you'll be able to see anything. But let me not tell you what to do, my good sir. Okay, now we are on to The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie, which I remember this was on one of my anticipated releases when it came out, and like this is like such a beautiful color or cover and colors. I love these colors. The light is like a little like orangey because it's like evening time and everything, but let me tell you, this is a gorgeous book. And another beautiful like blue spine, and it is blurbed by Stephanie Garber, whom I love, and Elizabeth Lim, who I will say love, but I've only read one series by her, so can we really say that? Oh, just so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, is there gonna be a dragon in this book? So I did read the synopsis for this at one point, but I don't remember it. There is nothing on the book cover, like the inside of the dust jacket, but Oscar's looking at me. He's like, what are you doing? But the end pages are done, and they are gorgeous. Are they the same on both sides? No, they're not. I like the front one better. I just like the colors more. So, but yes, I feel like, because I'm guessing this is going to be in Asian mythology. So I guess we're in that zone. Oh, this is also blurbed by Juliette Marillier. And then Janella Angelis, which one of her books was on here, or is, like, I think I did have Where Dreams Descend. I don't know. Anyways, the synopsis. For generations, deadly storms have ravaged Mina's homeland. Her people believe the sea god, once their protector, now curses them with death and despair. To appease him, each year a maiden is thrown into the sea in the hopes that one day the true bride will be chosen and end the suffering. Many believe Shim Zhong, Mina's brother's beloved, to be the legendary true bride. But on the night Zhong is to be sacrificed, Mina's brother follows her, knowing that to interfere is a death sentence. To save her brother, Mina throws herself into the water in Zhong's stead. Swept away to the spirit realm, a magical city of lesser gods and mythical beasts, Mina finds the sea god trapped in an enchanted sleep. With the help of a mysterious young man and a motley crew of demons, gods, and spirits, Mina sets out to wake him and bring an end to the storms once and for all. But she doesn't have much time. A human cannot live long in the land of the spirits, and there are those who would do anything to keep the sea god from waking. Okay. I mean, not a lot happened, right? That's just like her sacrificing herself for her brother thing. I will say this is like some big font and big margins. So this like is a fairly short book. Like it's probably just over 300 pages. Yeah, 325. And it's pretty font. It's a big font. So I feel like it'll go very fast. I am interested. This is not a good video for us because I am kind of interested in all of these books. But this is definitely the winner so far. I am just like, I feel like I could just stare at this. I could just have this as a piece of artwork on my wall. Okay, and now we are on to the last book, Cruel Illusions by Margie Fuston, also blurbed by Stephanie Garber. Stephanie, you are just blurbing all the fantasy YA. I will tell you, I kind of hope I don't like this book because this book is like heavy, especially compared to the other. So I'm not trying to read this. It does have these like roses on the end pages, which is very nice. says the perfect sinisterly magical escape. Stephanie Garber. I gotta tell you, I don't know how I feel about the word sinister. Ooh, this is a different kind of like embossing and stuff. That's very, oh, it like shows up better on the camera than in person. That does not look like the same person, the same man, but that looks like the same woman. You know how I feel about that. Oh my gosh, this book is so heavy. What the heck? Caraval meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this deliciously dark young adult fantasy from the author of Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things. Okay. Ever since a vampire murdered her mother, Ava has been determined to get revenge. But 10 years later, having survived foster home after foster home and without a single sighting of a vampire, Ava has begun to lose hope. That is until she stumbles across a hidden magic show where she witnesses impossible illusions. The magicians may not be the bloodsuckers she's hunting, but Ava is convinced something supernatural is afoot. When she sneaks backstage to catch them in acts they can't explain, the magicians reveal they're part of an ancient secret society that possesses true magic, and that Ava has the same power in her blood they do. If she joins them as their apprentice, they promise to give her the power she needs to avenge her mother. But there's a catch. If Ava wants to keep the magic they offer, she needs to prove she's worthy of it, and to do so she must put on the performance of her life in a sinister and dangerous competition where illusion and reality blur, and the only way out is to win or die. Okay, so that was fine. Honestly, I'll double check reviews. I think I'm gonna pass. I think like I might like it and everything, like nothing really happened. And I was a little worried about this. I'm gonna be honest. What's her name? Ava? I feel like she's gonna be a little too moody and mopey for me, and like I'm just not as okay with that. Like it's always bothered me a little bit, but maybe a little bit much. Like not to be mean. Like she's clearly been through it, right? Also, like this might be a little on the creepy side. I don't know. I will double check reviews. So I think as of right now, I'm going to be reading The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. But I am pretty confident I'm going to keep The Year of the Reaper. Should I be? I feel like this is my work from home outfit, is wearing this. Oh, my glasses are filthy. Filthy. And I feel like I do not have a glasses cloth. So, I wonder if my blanket is gentle enough. I don't know. I'm just like in a mood. I'm like 50 or 75 pages into The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I'm enjoying it. I'm a little confused. I have some theories, but I am a little confused. Also, she is coming across to me. I can't remember her name. Is it Mina? Am I making that up? She's reading very young to me, and I'm not gonna lie, like her almost obsession with her brother is a little weird. I think she was just telling a story about like her grandfather, and he was like talking to her about ducks and how they imprint, and how she like was inconsolable and she was born, and then her brother came in and like picked her up or whatever, and she just like immediately calmed down. And like I get it, but it's like a little weird, you know. So, but yes, she is reading like very young. She's reading like a young, I mean, she's a freaking teenager. And so like, maybe is she reading young, or is my perception of a teenager in a YA book skewed? Could go either way. So, but I am enjoying it well enough. So, I mean, I really only read it like one night. I told myself this week I was going to be on top of it. I mean, it's Wednesday. So yesterday was the only day, but yesterday was a crazy day. So yes, and so my mortgage was just paid on the 1st. Today's the 5th. And I normally, like a couple days after that, I get a text that says that like, oh, my mortgage statement is available, which is normal. I never look at it. And then, I got another email or another text that was like, your escrow statement is available. And I was like, why are we sending this? And I looked at it. And in January, my mortgage is going up again. It already went up. I mean, maybe it went up back in January, but I don't think so. I think it went up in like halfway through the year, but it's going up another $220. And I was just on Facebook on my lunch, and yesterday was election day, which like this was decided before or whatever, but like it still feels kind of gross. But like tonight or tomorrow night, I can't remember which one, I think tonight, my town like council board or whatever is meeting to discuss raising our taxes, and specifically like removing a cap on our taxes. And I'm like a little confused, but it's also like I don't have time to look into that. But also like, what am I gonna do? Go down there and be like, don't raise my taxes? They're gonna totally listen. So yeah. All right, does anybody else have a cat who does this? Stop it. He only wants egg noodles. Like if I do pasta, he does not do anything, but egg noodles, I have to like hide it. Hey, Oscar, no. And I'm sure somebody's gonna say that's disgusting, and like, you're not necessarily wrong. They're about to get boiled, and he only cares about them right now, like while they're dry. Once they're cooked, which I'm waiting for my water to boil, he no longer cares about them. But no, I don't care if my cats are on my counter when I am present cooking food for myself. If I'm cooking food for other people, it is a completely different. No, I'm making my dinner for the week. Is it gonna fit in there? I do not think it's gonna fit in there. Well, it fits enough. But yes, so I do not stop them from getting on the counter. If it's just me. And I don't care. So yes, I'm putting my dishes away, which is gonna now be hard for me to put some of them away because I hit the egg noodles in them. This pot is taking forever to boil. Anyways, I think like 50-ish. Wait, the two guys I work for are like having a disagreement right now. So one of them, so we're supposed to get snow. This week will be our first snow if we get it. If we do, my mom said that they're saying that we might get like 5 inches by Wednesday. It's Sunday right now. Now, I haven't watched the meteorologist, so I don't know what they're saying, but I think they mean by that like accumulation over the course of the time, like that will come down. But it's still so warm, and like the ground is still not solid, so don't think we're gonna have a problem with like it sticking or anything. I have not even tested my snowblower yet this year. It is on my list of things to do this week. But yes, I'm like not ready for it to snow. I don't think we'll have a lot. So like the one guy was like, sent a picture of his snowblower, and the other guy said, I'm gonna make fun of you if you snowblow for 1 inch of snow. I think he's distracted sufficiently now by his sister. And so then the other guy said, I hope it snows 5 feet and your snowblower doesn't work. Well, he says snow thrower, which I think is funny, but he's from Michigan, so I just always assume it's a Michigan thing. But, oh, my water is finally boiling. But like, one, don't wish that on me. If we get 5 feet of snow, I have to deal with it too. But I said, this is getting tense. And the first guy said, this is the only way we talk to each other. Which they're like frat brothers and stuff. Anyways, so I'm about 50% of the way through my book. I'm still enjoying it well enough. I do still think Nina is reading very young, but I also do think I'm maintaining what I said the other day, where I said that I don't think she's being written like in an immature or incorrect way. I think she's actually being written like a 16-year-old. So, you know, but also I am not a 16-year-old. So, but yes, I have some theories. I keep like, I'm not going to say them because I feel like they may be spoilers, but like, then I start thinking about them and I'm like, is that a theory? Like, does that make sense? So I keep like, I'm like 50-50 on my theory. And like, there's these other characters that keep randomly showing up and like helping her or getting involved. And I can't figure out, like, there's obviously something going on because they just like show up mysteriously and do weird things. Now we're also in like an unnatural world. Like, this is a world of like spirits and gods and goddesses and stuff and other mythical creatures. But based on what we've been told about these characters, I feel like they shouldn't be able to do those things. And so I just like, I don't know. Are they like interfering for good or for evil? And like, I kind of hope not evil because I feel like she has friends. So I don't know. There are, I feel like, a lot of characters, like not really, like when I sit down and think about it. So there's like 3 of them. And one is like a little child. So like isn't really a character. And then you have her and Shin, who is, I assume, the love interest because that's what is going on. And then the sea god. And then Shin has 2 like friends / guards. And then those are really the only like main players, I think. But then like we do meet like other like gods or creatures or whatever, people who have obviously impacted Mina's life. And I am every once in a while like struggling to keep people straight in my head. And like we've mentioned several other sea god brides, and I'm like, do I need to remember them and their story? Because if I do, not sure I'm going to. So hopefully we don't, and hopefully it's just like passing knowledge, you know, and hopefully I don't need to remember everything about all of the different like gods and goddesses, like the little bits that have been sprinkled in. There are like, there's like houses, and I think Shin is Lotus House. And then there's Tiger House, and Tiger House they think is up to no good. Like, I think people are trying to kill the sea god. I don't know, I'm a little confused about what's going on. But I'm kind of just like along for the ride. You know, I'm not always into books like this, but I feel like in some ways I'm just supposed to ride this. I will say I do think that this book is not going to be like a favorite. Maybe something will happen, I don't know. But I do enjoy it. And I do think that this book, I would probably enjoy this story more in a visual medium because I do not have like the brain that like really pictures stuff. You know how like some people when they read, they like see everything. Like I can appreciate an atmospheric, beautiful description. Absolutely. But I'm not picturing people and I'm not picturing the world. And I feel like I may jive better with this and understand it more if I could have a visual, like especially when there's a lot of characters, because I can't visualize characters really. If I ever do have characters in my head, they're like amorphous blobs. Like it's like vague blob, maybe you have a hair color. I think I've talked about this before. Every male character has dark hair. If you have hair in my brain and you're a man, you have dark hair. Unless you are Jace Wayland. Jace Wayland is the one male character who has ever had his description actually stick in my head. So, but every other male character, you have dark hair. You have no say in the matter. So, yes. Now, because I think I can't like really picture people in my head. I think sometimes that's why I have trouble keeping characters straight, because I don't have like an easy way to like distinguish them in my brain. Whereas like with film or TV or whatever, there is a visual there, and like I can maintain a visual that's been given to me, if that makes sense. I set the camera off, trying to set you down. So yes, once a visual, like an actual visual that somebody else has conceptualized, has been exposed to my brain, I can maintain that visual. So, you know, that would be easy. Like honestly, I am so glad. Ooh. I am so glad I read The Lord of the Rings after I saw the movies, because I am not sure I could have maintained those characters and that storyline without like the visuals from the movie. But like the Fellowship, that's a lot of people, you know, to keep organized in your brain. Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't like putting a pot back on a hot stove, but Oscar will get on the stove. We're working on it. And so I'm always afraid, because it's a glass top, that he's going to step on it. So anyways, so yes, once like a visual is provided to me, it will be easier. So, you know, and I do think that if this was done, if this was adapted for some reason, I feel like animated would be the way to go. I feel like a lot of stuff, like honestly, like I feel like a lot more stuff should be animated when they do adaptations for fantasy stuff. I just think like we do not have the ability to create this stuff, and animation is a wonderful thing, so why not use it? Anyways, okay, I do not know when I will update you again, but thank you for joining me as I meal prepped / made my dinner, because I'm gonna have this for dinner tonight too. So yes, I will update you later. Maybe there will be another mid-book update, or maybe it'll just be the end. I don't know. Hello, I almost forgot to film this. So I finished The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea yesterday. Last night I actually I had like 30 pages left, so I took the book to dance with me, and I read, because I usually get there early because I'm always worried about being late. So I got it, or I was there a little early, so I was reading in like the little waiting room and everything, and I finished the book, and I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. It's probably more like a 3.5, 3.75. It's not often that I feel the need to hand out like a quarter star rating. But 3 definitely felt too low, but 4 is a little high, you know? I definitely got pretty engaged at the end, and I will say, I'm not going to spoil this, but I liked the ending. I feel like some of my theories were kind of right, but kind of not right, and I feel like that was like the perfect combination, you know? I do think I probably would have enjoyed this more like when I was younger. I think there's some YA that you can read as an adult and still really enjoy it and like have it be amazing. And I think there's some YA that is really better for you to read when you're in the YA demographic. And I think he does this when I'm working from home too. He like can't stand me. I'm gonna have to go soon, sir. I have to go grocery shopping, and you have an eye goober. He's gonna be so mad. I know, but if you don't get rid of it, I have to get rid of it. Oh, it's really stuck on there. Here, I got rid of it. I'm sorry, but it's better for you not to have them. Anyways, let me move my computer. I'm just exporting a video right now. So that after I go grocery shopping, I can hopefully edit this video. But what was I saying? Yes, I feel like there's just some books that like the way they're written or whatever, I feel like it clicks better with an actual YA audience, you know, like the people who are actually the books are geared towards. So yeah, and to me this was one of those. And I would say that like this book would be perfectly fine to give to like a middle grade reader, like a middle schooler, or even like an upper like elementary schooler and everything. So I thought it was good. It was interesting. It was occasionally confusing, but I mean, that was partially me. I think I said earlier that I felt Mina was kind of immature. I feel like she did change a little bit in that, but I would still say that overall that she is a little immature, but not in a like derogatory way, but and I think I said this earlier, like she's 16, like she is a child basically, like, and everything. And so I think she is written more authentically than maybe a lot of YA heroines are. So, sorry. Got an itchy itch? Got an itch? Okay. Now he's gonna put your little head in my arm. Okay. So, yes. I don't really have much to add without like going into spoilers or anything. The ending is I will say it's a little like abrupt, but I also feel like a lot of books are like that, and I am just like a long drawn out ending. I'm a sucker for like an epilogue, you know, that kind of thing. So that could be why. So like take that opinion with a grain of salt, but I did enjoy it. I am glad that I read it. I thought it was a very good length. I thought it was a great standalone. Like it was a nice story and everything. So, and this wasn't my anticipated releases when it came out. So, you know, that worked out. But yeah, I think I need to go. And I don't know, decide how much cuddle time I will give this hooligan before I get up and go grocery shopping, because I do really need to go grocery shopping. But he's like snorting away over here. I know. But if I leave and come back, then we can have tons of cuddle time. You don't accept my negotiation? Okay. Well then. See you next time. Bye.